10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What we've been through, it's hard to make it on it.
Hi and welcome to Dax Chats. In this episode, I'm speaking to an Australian country artist who was a member of the band Genie. He went solo and in 2018 started bringing out songs like I Give My Heart to You and Summer Song. And then he brought out his album Charcoal and Ash. And he is locked down in Melbourne right now. I am talking about Aaron Darcy. He has a brand new song out called Better Day, and I guess we're all hoping for a better day. Today, Dax Chats to Aaron Darcy, and here he is. G'day, mate.
Hey everyone. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm doing well. I hope you're doing well. I know you're in lockdown in Melbourne again. How's it going for you?
Yeah, it's good. We're all having a bit of cabin fever, I think, at the moment, but we're all safe and well. So that's the most important thing. It's sort of given me a lot of time to, hang out here and record some new songs. So it's been good.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's what I've been doing too. I mean, I've been running the radio station. I've been doing some co-writes. I've got a new song coming out that's not mine. Well, it is mine. It's partly mine, but another artist is bringing out a song of mine. So I thought that's brilliant. So yes, that's pretty much what we've been doing. It's all been a bit more collaboration has been going on while everybody's been in lockdown too, because I've noticed that a lot of artists, in normal times would, be off doing their own thing and stuff like that. But there's been a lot more collaboration during this lockdown and this time of struggle that we've been going through.
Yeah, look, I think everyone normally, everybody's out and about and really busy and doing so many things. And now that you're actually sort of locked in your house, it's really given everybody an opportunity to do those projects that they've never had time to do, or to shout out and say, hey, do you want to write a song? And people have actually said, yeah, I'm doing nothing. So it's been a nice period.
That's it.
Yeah,
it's been fun. I remember when I did it, I was like, I wrote, I set up the radio station. I was getting everything, set up for that. And so on the 26th of March, which was my birthday, actually, this whole thing started. The Country Thunder Network started, and I was in lockdown in China. And then I was like going through my phone and my notes and my old stuff, and I came across this song that I'd put away since 2018. So I started reworking it, and then I went, I know someone that might be able to, do something with this. So I just sent a message on Facebook and said, hey, let's do a co-write. And what do you know? Bill Chambers produced it, and it's going to be, it's going to be a song.
How great is that?
It is. That's it. I mean, I've got the biggest smile on my face. I've heard a mix of it, and I'm like, this is cool. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So your journey, 2016, pretty much you were with Genie, but you decided to leave the group and move on to solo projects. And obviously your first album was called Charcoal and Ash, and it had the two singles, Give My Heart to You and Summer Song. Yeah. Tell us about your journey from Genie moving on to your solo work.
So look, the last couple of years with Genie, I was pretty much doing everything anyway, and I'd sort of come up with a way where I could record and play everything and just streamline the recordings, just to make it cheaper, really, and quick and way more efficient. So Genie was sort of going under my own name anyway, so it was starting to get a little bit confusing. So we just changed it up, and just after a bit of advice, I just changed it to my own name. And then sort of Charcoal and Ash came out of a trip to Nashville, and I did some co-writing there, and I wrote Summer Song and I Give My Heart to You, and Running on Empty, which is another one that I wrote. And then sort of, that sort of just gave me inspiration for Charcoal and Ash. And then as soon as I got back, I sort of kept writing and kept writing. And, in this room here, recorded the album.
Cool. And a good album it is. I mean, it's refreshing when you get when you get country music that is not normal. Like your music is sort of not quite country, but not quite rock. It's sort of in between. You sort of got that alt country vibe going, and it's really refreshing to hear those songs.
Yeah, look, I've had that comment quite a fair bit, and I think it's probably stems from my love of 60s music, and the Stones, and then a lot of some of their early stuff could be classed as country as well, you know what I mean? And and Johnny Cash, and incorporating those sort of things with actually modern techniques, and using synths, and lots of different instruments, and just playing around as well. There's I've sort of said, well, there's no limits to what I create and what I make, and it's all sort of falls under that country branch somehow. But there's some more bluesy stuff, but there's still some pedal steel and things in there as well. So I reckon it's like just a big influence of all the music that I love that's sort of blended into what I'm doing.
Yeah, for sure, and I think that shows in a lot of artists. We all take from what we've heard and how we've heard things, and that's how our process begins. So, yeah, for sure, that's the way it happens. Even for me, that's how it happened. Now, obviously, this year has been a hell of a ride for everybody. And so what have you been doing? Because this is your third lockdown in Melbourne now.
Well, sort of lockdown number 2, but it just gets heavier and heavier. We've sort of been really locked down since March. I pretty much mid-March, the Friday night, I had a phone call, and all my gigs for the whole year were cancelled. I do a lot of work in TV and stuff like that, and that was all cancelled at the same time. So it was there was a lot of whiskey drunk that night, I'll tell you what.
I love that.
But it's that it was like there were some really exciting gigs, and everything I hadn't even announced yet, so it was quite weird. It was like just about to announce this gig, about to announce this, and everything just cancelled, and even the stuff that was in October has now been cancelled, and you just don't know when to actually start booking gigs again. So
that is true. I mean, are you looking ahead towards Tamworth? I mean, is that something that you think is on the horizon? Can you get out of Victoria by then? I mean,
well, that's so many question. I actually have a show booked, and I'm planning on launching the album there. But I keep hiring whether I need to cancel that show. I don't know. I really want to go, but I'm not sure if that'll actually happen.
Yeah, that's
all the borders are closed, so I don't know when those borders are going to be open. So at the moment, we can't travel anywhere. So
yeah, and that's something that I found really strange about the whole situation. Like, never in my life have I ever come across a situation where borders between states have been closed. I mean, that is just completely surreal to me. I just
it's unbelievable. Work it out. If you said that this time last year, no one would believe you. I mean, I understand why it's got to happen, and it's got to happen, but hopefully hopefully we can create an Australia bubble rather than a state bubble, and work it from there. Because I think I think there's a lot of the states are sort of anti-Victoria at the moment, and it's like we're not that bad.
I have seen that, and I have seen a lot of the bad press about Victoria, and even the infighting that's happening, between politicians in Victoria. And look, as you said off screen, Dan Andrews is doing a fantastic job. The new thing that he brought out to say that he's going to extend the state of emergency in Victoria for a further 12 months. It is not the be all and end all of life. It's not as though we're going to be locked in our houses for the next 12 months. It's just to say that we're going to have that safeguard in place until this is gone, which is good work for him, I say.
I reckon so too. And I think if we do open up, we need to act really quickly if we need to lock down again. So there can't be any mucking around. And if that means that we can actually open up a little bit and go to the pub and hang with some friends, then albeit that's great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So in the course of this pandemic, of course, you did bring out a brand new song. It's called Better Day. Talk to us about your new song.
So this song, actually started writing this in probably about December last year. So it was before the whole COVID thing. And a friend of mine who is a bass player in a band, his bandmate was writing some songs and wasn't doing too much with them, and a few were a little bit country, and he sort of gave us an introduction and said, why don't you guys meet up and have a muck around and see what, if you like anything. And so he came around and he played a few songs, and it was quite exciting. He's the guitarist for a band called Jet, which everybody might know.
Yeah.
So me being a big fan was quite excited and very nervous, and was like, oh. So we had a coffee and a chat, and then he played some songs, and then he had about 2 or 3 lines off Better Day, and I said, there's something about that just sort of caught my ear, and I said, well, why don't we sit down and finish this song? So we pretty much over that session wrote the song, and then we came back in January and finished it off, and he put down some guitar and some backing vocals, and I filled in the gaps from there. So it was great.
Yeah, because that was one of the things that I found very interesting when I was reading up about the song. It was like it was written by you and this guitarist from Jet, and Jet's a rock band. We all know what Jet is. It's a rock band. I mean, it's like, well, how are we going to put this in a country? But it's a great song. It's brilliant. I love it.
Really good. And the first couple of lines he had, and I was like, oh wow, this is great. We should really sort of work on that. And it was quite intimidating writing with someone who's had massive songs,
massive hits.
And, he's such a great songwriter, so it was really good to learn from him and work with him. And it was pretty nerve-wracking but pretty exciting. And then once we put that down, and his acoustic guitar just sounded like a Jet acoustic guitar, because it was, you know what I mean? And it was just like, oh, this is great. And just filling in the gaps was trying to do the song some justice.
Yeah, well, you did. You certainly did. I think it actually entered the all Aussie Country Thunder 20 this week. I think that was very good.
Yes. Yeah. It's the response is really good so far. So it's hitting the airwaves everywhere, and it's released on Friday. It is. So it's very exciting to get it out, and for people to be able to have it and listen to it, and take it on the next.
How do you feel with the lead up? Like bringing it out as a radio release first, and then having the pre-save pre-order. What's the hype been around the song since it's gone to radio?
Yeah, look, there's always been there's good interest and good excitement, and you know, I've been pushing the socials really hard, and I gave myself enough time to push it, you know, well, and give radio stations a chance to actually play it. You know, some might take 2 or 3 weeks to actually get it onto the playlist before it comes out. So it's good. You know, everybody's loved it, and everyone's really keen to play it, and their support's really good. And you know, the film clip will come out on the Monday, so that was really exciting. You know, that was a COVID lockdown film clip that, you know, we ended up having to film on our phones, everybody. So, you know,
Wow.
it's sort of, the film clip went from about 3 different versions, from, you know, a full crew to everybody in the same room, to separation with one crew member, and then it was like, well, we can't do anything. So I said, I'm still going to do it, and I'm just going to do it on my phone. So we did, and yeah, really happy with how it's turned out.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, did you see Ben Ransom's new video clip? I mean,
Yeah,
that was
awesome.
a COVID video clip. I was like, wow. I spoke to Ben yesterday about it. I was like, wow, that's just a brilliant video clip.
Very, very clever. Very clever.
Yeah, because he had the same issues. He could only have one person with him to do it, so it ended up being him doing every part in the video clip. It was amazing.
Yes, so clever, just amazing. Yeah, so, you know, people have been, you know, quite creative, and you know, making things work, and still putting out stuff. You know, the other option would be just to shut up and wait 12 months, but you know, I don't. You've got to keep doing stuff and being creative.
We can't do that. I mean, you know, creative people, you know yourself, you know, I know how it is. You know, like, we just don't stop. We can't stop the juices flowing. And I think if we just ended up sitting on our couch watching Netflix, and you know, and then music life would be over for us. And I think we'd end up, you know, looking for day jobs. No,
totally.
thank you.
Yeah, totally. And you know, you lose that momentum too, and you know, it's really hard to get that momentum up and to keep things moving, and you know, otherwise people forget about you, and you know, it's harder and harder to sell singles and get things out. So you got to keep the momentum going, and you know, it's just good for your mental well-being, really, just to keep playing.
True. And that's exactly why I did what I did. You know, these Dax Chats things, the Country Thunder Network, it was all for my mental well-being, because I couldn't be stuck at home doing nothing. I had no idea what I was going to do. I had middle of COVID, my father passed away. I'm in China, my dad's in Australia, I can't fly to Australia. It was there was this whole mess going on, and you know, my wife's at home. She's having to do, she could do her work from home, so it was all by online hookup and stuff like that. So it was like, I needed something that I knew what I was doing, and I knew how to do it. And so bang, the radio station came up, and you know, my wife financed it. She knew how crazy I was going, so my wife just went, here's the money, go and start your radio station. Go on. So my wife financed the whole thing, you know, all this wonderful stuff, the backdrops, the cameras, the microphones, all of it. It's all her. I can't thank her enough for what happened, you know, but she knew I was going stir crazy.
Yeah, and it's kept you sane, which is great, you know.
Yeah. So it's been wonderful, and I've been able to manage to do as I said, a co-write, and I also threw out a song, because when my dad passed away and I couldn't be there, I just I just had to get it out. So I wrote a song and got it out there. I produced it all at home.
That's great.
I had no big producers or anything, you know, and I just went bang, here's a song, out on CRS, and I think I saw the stats yesterday. CRS sent me the stats yesterday, and 157 radio stations had downloaded the song. Whether they played it or not, I don't know.
That's great. That's great. Well, it's amazing now that, you know, you can do that. You can, you know, make a song and get it out, and suddenly it's, you know, played on radio stations around the world. It's quite a good time, far as that goes, that, you can work with people. Tim, my pedal steel player, I'd just send him off the track and he'd send me back the pedal steel. And with this track, Mark Wilson played bass, so he just in his studio played the bass and then sent it back to me. And,
well, that's the way it is now, and I think that's the way it should continue now, because we don't have to all be in the same room together to create this magic. Like I can throw a demo idea out to Matt Fell, if for example, Matt Fell could send me back a mix, then I could do a vocal on it, and then send it back to him, and then he, suddenly a song comes out, and we don't have to be in the same room together.
No, it's great, and it really opens the world up, and it makes recording a single quite a lot cheaper.
Absolutely. As we said about Tamworth, who knows what's going to happen? What are you looking ahead to?
Look, at this stage, there'll be definitely a tour as soon as we can do one. And I tend to be out and about a lot. There is an album launch planned and booked for Tamworth. Whether that happens is another thing. And I'm just going to release singles every month now, up until January. So there's going to be lots and lots of new music, and
that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So. There's sort of no point releasing a full album at the moment, just because you can't support it by playing and things like that. So I'm just going to release single after single, one single every month, and so check it out on iTunes and Spotify, because there's going to be a lot of music coming up.
And on the Country Thunder Network, of course, because as soon as those emails come in and say that, I said, like that was a funny thing that you just said, that it gets picked up by radio, but it takes a week, could take a couple of weeks for it to get on their playlist. Yeah. Every time I get an email from a publicist or from a record label, or something comes new on Play MPE, or wherever it comes from, it's on my playlist that day. As soon as it's released, bang, it's on there. And someone said that to me the other day. I was like, Brooke Chevelle's got his new track. I think it just got released to the public. And he was talking about it, and I said, oh, that's already playing on the Country Thunder Network. I sent him a comment in on his live or something, and he said, oh, that's great. You're probably one of the only ones that read your email straight away. So as soon as something new comes out, you can be rest assured it'll be on the Country Thunder Network straight away. We get out to over 50 countries a day, so we're loving it.
Yeah, and that's quite amazing now. Like, you could record something, and as soon as you hit that, export button, the next day it could be on the radio. It's
absolutely
a cool time for technology in that way.
It is. All right, mate. Well, I wish you all the best with all the upcoming singles. Better day. I hope it does well on release day for you. And I really do hope that everything softens in Victoria, and you guys can get out and do what you do best.
Oh yeah, look, we'll be fine. It'll all be back to normal at some stage. So.
At some stage.
And just everybody jump on iTunes and Spotify and grab that song.
Correct. All right, well, you have a great evening. Thank you for your time, buddy.
Thanks, mate. See you soon.
See ya. All right, that was Aaron Darcy, and his brand new track is called Better Day. It is available on all your streaming platforms, and of course you can listen to it on the Country Thunder Network, and you can vote for it in the Country Thunder 20. So get on to our website, which is right there, countrythunder.com.au, and give it a vote and give it a listen, because it's a great track. Until next time, this is DJ Dax for Dax Chats, proudly supported by Neon Horse in Stanhope, Victoria. See you later.